Okay, I was told to document the way things were left. This is the garbage can that they left all the garbage that they pulled up off the ground. I don't know what happened there, but I'll talk to the neighbors. You can see how they left the road and underneath my car and just the whole driveway, basically like painting on the ground. You can see the self-leveler still on the squeegee that he had us buy, along with damage to things that were left out. Painting. You can see on the bottom of my car right here, that was from a saw that they used that was all the way up the back of my car, and that was from them cutting tile. You can see tons of concrete still on the ground from, like, I don't know if you can see there, but it's all over the house, all over our garbage cans. It's how they left things. A little bit open that can jar, so that's gone. More concrete on the ground there. Actual pieces chipped up from the floor, or the ground, excuse me. More concrete and stuff all over the plants and paint. Not to mention the actual outside of the house that has the self-leveler stuff on it. And then you can see here the door. I'm gonna just put it sideways so you can see how the tile is uneven as well, just in the front of the house. And that's all the way through the house. Not to mention these things that they are now on the door. I don't know how, but it looks like that was done after they painted. You can see tons of overspray on the actual side of the door here, which was actually all over this back side of the door. You can see that how they left this wall that they said was not included in the price. Here is all of the overspray you can see on this other wall. You can see the self-leveler and stuff splattered all over. There's also, you can see this raw edge here that they left. Brand new wall. And then also there is the issue of the wrong paint. They got a semi-gloss that they were putting over the matte or eggshell that we asked for. Another thing is this door now does not shut. This was after 2 days of them coming back to fix the mistakes. Now this door, he hung the door that he had painted, and he'd asked us to buy another door because one of them was broken. And I think this is the one that was broken, but he hung it. I don't know. Anyways, another thing that he did was he replaced the doorknob with the doorknob that was originally on the house that he broke the key off in and we had to replace. Then there are also things like this, which are parts that he had us buy that he did not install. These were all the face plates that I had bought, and some were in the garbage along with these brand new that I had to pull out of the garbage because of the carelessness. Paint on our jackets on the inside of the closets. And I'm not trying to, anyways, I just want to show you the work, the craftsmanship of his work. You can see all of this, what is it called? Texturing is different, and you can see that there are actually lines going sideways all around the house. And just the spray. And people told me it was because he caked it on too thick. And you can see all of the overspray, as well as you can really see where he did the shiny paint over the matte paint, which was his corrections. But you can see all down here, all the grout that's left. This is how you can see how they started to paint, but decided not to, and just how deep the caulking is in some areas, and then it looks just completely different at the top. Along with the texture, there are huge pieces that look like cottage cheese falling off the ceiling, like just lines, things that were not reinforced. You can see there's actually cracks. I don't know if that'll point it out, where there's holes in the actual brand new walls that he put up, and also retextured. So all of this should have been uniform. There shouldn't have been any of this splatter here like this. Also, I don't understand why they did not caulk in there, but that's left that way. As well as he didn't seal the tile, or even finish the tile for that matter. It's all completely uneven. I'm gonna turn the phone this way so you can kind of see how there are dips and grooves all over the floor with the excess grout. You know, I thought it was just in a couple spots, but it's basically the whole floor. I mean, and just parts that are completely missing grout. You know, there's also things like this where it's just, you know, it's just discouraging and sad. You can see like how there's differences on the wall where some things are shiny, everywhere that he corrected his mistakes. All of these he had us replace because he would not reuse certain materials. You can see there that it's just a random shiny spot. Also, my speaker now looks like this because according to him, I wasn't supposed to say anything until he was done, but you can still see all the stuff that they got on my speaker. Along with, just like I said, the grout, the floor. It's completely uneven. I'm gonna turn it sideways just so you can see just how uneven things were left. The whole floor is like that. It's like bump, 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 bump. Just walking on it is every contractor that I've brought in here to look at his work and rebid to see how much it would cost to fix the mistakes that he made. You can see under here, he just left this with no caulking at all. So it's completely open on that side, kind of closed on this side. Even the bottom, you know, you can see that there's, from just the tile being crooked. And the stove, I had somebody else come and install after he left it in the living room for a week, saying he was going to connect it and then didn't. And had somebody else be, and the reason why he couldn't connect it was because he painted, or somebody painted inside. You can see where they spilled the coffee on the window. Another thing is they did do a lot of cleanup. However, they missed that huge pile right there. I don't know if you can see it, of grout, which I'm turning it this way just so you can see. But it's a decent pile, plus all the paint and stuff all over. And then this, I just noticed. So now the screen door is off its track and won't go straight because this is where it was supposed to run along and now will not. And you can see there's like something was pushed against it, which wasn't like that before they came. We also had to, look at this, is the fan that was black, but they left everything like that and then came back and cleaned some things but left other things. You can see this is something that wasn't even in the house, but somehow ended up covered in paint, and we're also renting that from Xfinity. So, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff that was either lost, thrown away, broken. He never replaced any of these because of the fact that the 15-year-old guy, who he tried to tell people was actually 21, was left unattended and broke several of the faceplates when he was removing things. Brand new walls with like random, it's just, I feel like, I'm not trying to nitpick, but that's what our walls look like. Where everything's flat, and then there's random spots like this, where it's just jagged and bumpy, you know, all the way down. And he's the one that replaced this, so. There was just so much of the splatter that you can see where it's not even textured. There's tons of pieces that look like they're just gonna fall off. There's tons of lines and just things like this where, you know, it's like those are brand new. Not to mention the fact that there was a part that was even, there was water damage that was caused. The neighbors say that they saw that the cabinets were being wet outside because they insisted on leaving the water on. And, you know, there's just tons of like marks like that, or just the overspray marks like that, and pieces coming off. You know, 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's just unprofessional. You see the streak marks all over, and just the cracking. from the caking marks. I don't know. It's just a lot of work that needs to be done over. I'm having somebody else come and fix the doors and the doorknobs and replacing underneath here, which he refused to do. He had 2 days, 3 days to do it and just didn't. You know, just tons of marks all over. And I don't know if I showed you this, which is the unexposed wall, or the exposed wall or whatever, that he put up and did not, said this was not part of the deal. So this sheetrock here that was brand new is now being damaged. There's just a lot. And I hope that I remembered everything on there, but there was a lot of the self-leveler is going to level the floor. It's going to fix it. So we need to buy 16 bags at $40 a piece. And then, yeah, it didn't do what he said it was going to do. And then he turned around and said, I never told you that. So it was just a lot of like this, him blaming other people for the work not being done right, him leaving underage minor men or young men unattended, to where he's saying they are the ones who made the floor uneven. And it's just a lot of things. He said he was not going to charge me for the floor, but unfortunately I paid for this floor already, whether or not he ruined all of this. I wasted tons of grout and had us buy more. And he had somebody coming here for 3 days to clean the floor, and there's still grout everywhere. Or in some cases, even just completely missing grout. Okay, well, I was told to document it, so I did. Sorry that it took a little longer. Oh yeah, and they never replaced that either. And this is what he's saying is done, and he wants to be paid for. And everything is just kind of sloppy, and it just looks bad. You know, for him to have tried to charge $45,000 for this work. And when I asked him how he got to the number of 45, he turned around and brought me a paper that was saying that all of his work was worth $67,000 for a 400 square foot area. And every single contractor that I had come out, and I had 4 other contractors come out to look at the work that he had done, and they told me that he was lying and overbid by $20,000 and $40,000. And that's overbid. That actually, if he had done the work right, it would have been more like $22,000. But yeah, you never think someone's going to lie to you or misrepresent themselves. And in this case, he did not know how to do all the things he said he did, which number one was the floor. And yeah,